Okay, so I got 7 trillion this morning with this comp. Yesterday I did 6.2, same team. Uh, the only difference is I manualed and ran it at 1x rather than 1.5 like yesterday. So here's my comp, and I'm kind of doing this for myself so I can go back in a few weeks when he comes back and look at what I had because I always forget. So that was my gear, and those are my lines. Okay. And let's see here. CC. I'm running around a Christmas tree now, and I had her on a Book of the Mad when I did the 7 trillion this morning. Hold on a second. My wife's calling me. Okay, I'm back with you, everybody. So, geez, are you guys going to even be able to see this? Hold on a second. I'm going to turn on the screen brightness here a little bit. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right, so there's my CC. Again, I was saying I ran her on a Book of the Mad for the 7 trillion. I'm going to try. I was talking to another CC main, and he said to give the Christmas tree a try because it's 3 stars, 87%, and her crit dam's pretty low. And I don't have her on this perk. I have her on this perk, which I know is kind of like the cardinal sin of CC. But the reality is, I have a lot of A220s on my team that are physical, and this is going to amp the hell out of them. And if I can get another Billy DPS, because I'm amping them 25%, it also kind of functions as a Book of the Mad without the reduction of mana. And there were a few occasions on his knockdown phase where I couldn't fire off for S3 for that extra damage because I just didn't have enough mana due to the Book of the Mad. So this, with the Christmas tree, I feel like could be the perfect marriage, but we'll find out when we do this run. And if I just see that the DPS is way too low by the time I get her 10 stacks on the S3 with her UT there, I'll cancel the battle and I'll throw her onto the Book of the Mad. Here's Adi. I have this right here for quick cooldown. That's S2 does stun. It does bring his CC bar down a lot, and this just increases the cooldown even further. The reset, excuse me. So he can just spam that thing while we're waiting for his S3 to fire back up, and I'll run him on automatic, and he'll just sit there and spam his S2, bringing that CC bar down. So that's the reason for this UT. These are his perks. I did have him on this, but he's got so much mana recovery on attack already. I was like, screw it. I don't need it. I've always got his S3 available when I want it, so I'm good. Here's my Lav. So she's at 654 crit dam. I put her on the feather instead of the Christmas tree. Audie was on the Christmas tree, excuse me, on the feather, but I put the feather on her so I can put the Christmas tree on Cecillia. And now Audie has given everybody 8% attack with the AAA, with the academic achievement. So she's got a little less crit dam, but it's only a difference of 13%, right? It's 15% of 87%. So it's not a lot that I'm throwing over to Cecillia. And of course, I'm amping Cecillia now with 87%. So it's like a net difference of 72 or 70, excuse me, 74%. So it's, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Here's my Glenwis. I put her on the Juno Special Dessert. I had her on the AAA originally, and no one was on the Special Dessert. But that Special Dessert is like an RNG damage boost, which is fantastic. 12%. And because there are mobs that show up in Protan, guess what? There's a higher increase of RNG, allowing this thing to process. She's on a Ballast Ruby. She's got over 400,000 base defense that she's slinging 8% up to everyone. And then with this perk, and then of course, whenever she fires off her S3, she's getting an extra amount of defense. So it's going to be bonkers. She'll probably be sitting at like 650,000 defense when everything is said and done. And she's slinging 8% of that to everybody with this T5 Dark. So fantastic there. Raise on a 5-star, medley sheet, 3-star pocket watch. Thought about going for 4-star. I have one in the inventory I could hit this thing with. It's on a fail bonus, but I don't want to risk it. I really want to hit this thing with a 2-star, which sounds crazy, but if you only knew how long it took to get this thing to 3-star, you would understand. So there's her perks. I have her on the second highest amount of attack, or sorry, third highest amount of attack, so that she's snagging Audie's A2 for even more cooldown fun. Evan, he just brings a ridiculous amount of mana. He's also bringing a huge P damage amp, and he's bringing a lot of heal. So that's the reason for Evan in this. But the main reason is the mana battery. And then Fallen Fray. So shield doesn't have 100% uptime, but I'm okay with that. If I get this thing to 5-star, I could easily get it to 100% uptime, but it's 1 second off of a 100% uptime. She's got plenty of mana, plenty of recovery. So there you go. That's my Fray. I had her on a little mini feather with this right here for the first 30 seconds, but I wanted the extra 50 crit chance because 150 from her, 50 from Evan, 50 from Ray, 50 from Lab. That puts it at 300. Cecilia's at 1,000, and that puts her at exactly the 1,300 that I need in order to be critting 100% of the time. So, and of course, Lab's S1 decreases crit resistance by another 300, so that's going to help everybody else to crit as well. So let's go ahead and fire this up, and hopefully I can do 7.5. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I'm on the phone right now with my buddy, and he's explaining to me that if I'm getting hit by the tidal wave and I'm running Book of the Mad, that I just don't have any mana. So it's a bad combo. Let's see if I get hit by a tidal wave. Like, so do I fire SP first or S3 first? Okay. Right. See? I can use that S1 already. I need one more. No, I need. I'm not 13 on DPS right now. I don't know. got to return stacks at least. Yeah. That's great. I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to fire his F3 or not. So that's... I'm going to do it right after... That was a lot of hits in the knockdown. So like I got hit with the tidal wave, but it didn't really do anything. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sure. Come on. I'm gonna break them down with Audi A2. Just in time. But he's only at 5, and I still got a minute left. I don't think I'm going to get that 7. I do think so. I mean, 17 isn't bad. But I think Book of the Rod is just a hell of a lot more damage. I'll save that. Wait. Maybe. So, minute left. I mean, I'll get him to 6. But Book of the Mad, definitely better. Yep. I would like to see Wolf. Yeah, that's true. A lot of bodies coming off. Okay. Well, we'll end that, and I'll stop this video. It has the gear loadout in the beginning, so if for some reason you skipped to the middle of the video or just skipped to the end in order to see what the score ended up being, this is my part one, and it ended up being just south of 6 trillion. But again, that was without Book of the Mad. So we're going to just switch it out where she's on Book of the Mad instead, and in part two, you can watch and see the difference.